My apologies. All members to come to the floor. We'll, thank you, Mayor. You look pretty today, by the way. I like that. All members. Mr. Clerk, how about letting them know we get ready to get started? Ring the bell. Members, we have some privilege resolutions that y'all have put in, so I'm going to ask the clerk to read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions. Mr. Clerk.
Honoring the life and memory of Michael Mike Earl Chambers, Sr. Honoring the life and memory of Dr. Bob Eichhammer. Commending Jerui Grace Guo, Darlington High School's 2025-2026 star student. Commending Hayes Robert Parsa, Darlington High School's 2025-2026 star student. Recognizing, commending the Smooth Ashler Grand Chapter Order of Eastern Star for 80 years of exemplary service, leadership, and charitable contributions. Commending Zachary Kimani, Darlington High School's 2025-2026 star student. Commending Officer Terry J. Palmer. Recognizing March 3rd, 2026 as Georgia Reads Day. Congratulating, commending Sonia Martinez for receiving the 2026 Yellow Rose Nikki T. Randall Service Leadership Award. Honoring the Metropolitan Atlanta Baptist Ministers Union upon 141 years of service to the Baptist churches and communities. Commending Al Shorey, Darlington High School's 2025-2026 star teacher. Commending Heather Shores, Darlington High School's 2025-2026 star teacher. Recognizing Civil Air Patrol for their service to the citizens of Georgia, and commending and congratulating Mr. Prashant Vishnubhatla. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privilege resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? Hearing none, the resolutions are adopted. So we're going to get started on the supplemental rules calendar. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to Senate Bill 59, SB 59?
SB 59 by Senator Watson of the 11th and others, to be entitled an act to amend Code Sections 48, 5, 7.4 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to preferential assessment for bona fide conservation use property and bona fide residential transitional property. This bill having referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Representative Angie Osteen. The lady is going to be recognized to present SB 5959. Ladies recognized. Please give her your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 59 is a House substitute that would increase the reforestation tax credits $200 million cap from House Bill 223 that the whip carried last year. Applications received were in excess of $241 million, and others completely missed the deadline. This legislation would make the original applicants whole while allowing a first-come, first-served opportunity for the balance of credits no later than June 30th, 2026. Word of mouth and social media posts didn't reach a large portion of this extremely rural population, and accountants around us were concerned that they had a lack of information available of how to implement this with their yearly training sessions. There was also some confusion with this issue, whether it was federally administered through the FSA or if it was state administered. Mr. Speaker, I'll stand for questions.
The lady has no questions.
Thank you. I ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee's substitute? Hearing none, the committee's substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 59, the yeas are 154, the nays are 3. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 1278,
House Bill 1278 by Representative Hawkins, the 27th and others, to be entitled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 11 of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to general provisions relative to dentists, dental hygienists, and dental assistants so as to improve efficiencies in the issuance of permits. This bill having referred to the Committee on Health, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chairman of Health. Chairman Hawkins is recognized to present the bill, House Bill 1278. Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill addresses the shortage of dentists that have conscious sedation permits in their state. Is especially exasperated in the South and especially the southwest portion of our state. This was brought to me by the Board of Dentistry, and all this does is it removes the on-site requirement and replaces it by any evaluation, certification, or examination as the board seems prudent and fit. This is very important to get more of these dentists out there that can treat our children under sedation, young adults, and people with disabilities. If there are no questions, I would ask for your consent and your vote. Thank you.
Clairvoyant, you have no questions. Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of House Bill 1278, the yeas are 165, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 1131?
House Bill 1131 by Representative Hong of the 103rd and others to be entitled an act to amend Article 3 of Chapter 4, Title 17 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to warrants for arrest, so as to provide for personal service of process for notice of a warrant application hearing. This bill then referred to the Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
You ready, Vice Chair Hong? Representative Hong is recognized to present House Bill 1131. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I have HB 1131, which will require personal service for notice of a warrant application hearing. That is the bill, and I will take any questions.
The lady has no questions.
Thank you. I ask for your favorable vote, and I yield the well. Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock. They have one late voter. Wait a minute, you voting green or? Okay, we'll wait on you then. All members voted now. Now all members have voted. Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? On the passage of House Bill 1131, the yeas are 166, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 1107?
House Bill 1107 by Representative Rice of the 139th and others to be entitled an act to amend Part 10 of Article 17 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to professional standards. This bill then referred to the Committee on Education. That committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Lady from Columbus, Representative Rice, is recognized to present House Bill 1107. Representative Carmen Rice is recognized.
Good afternoon, colleagues. House Bill 1107, the Excellent Teacher Preparation Act, strengthens educator preparation provider programs in Georgia and continues this body's work to build a strong, effective teacher pipeline aligned with the needs in the classroom. House Bill 1107 establishes uniform statewide measures, performance measures through the education preparation providers and the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. This bill establishes and measures to evaluate preparation programs based on certification success, job placement, teacher retention, employer feedback, effectiveness, and student outcomes, ensuring new teachers are prepared to succeed and are classroom ready on day one. This legislation is a result of strong collaboration and broad support from the Georgia Professional Standards Commission, the University System of Georgia, the Governor's Office of Student Achievement, and our Literacy Council. It aligns a teacher preparation with the literacy and math reforms already passed by the General Assembly this session. House Bill 1107 increases accountability, strengthens transparency, and better connects teacher preparation with the workforce needs of our school districts. Members, this is a collaborative, data-driven step forward for our teachers, our classroom, and Georgia students. I respectfully ask for your favorable consideration and your vote for the passage of House Bill 1107. And with
Lady
that,
has
I
no
will-
questions.
Thank you very much.
Good job. The ladies yielded well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? Hearing none, the committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? All members voted. Yes, so Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of House Bill 1107, the yeas are 166, nays are 0. This bill having received the requisite constitutional majority is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 1097, 1097?
House Bill 1097 by Representative Petrie, the 166 and others, being titled an act to amend Title 37 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to mental health so as to provide for criminal background, license status, and registry checks for owners, applicants, and employees. This bill having been referred to the Committee on Public and Community Health. That committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chairman Petrie is recognized to present House Bill 1097. The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I bring you today House Bill 1097. If y'all will recall, last year I carried for the Department of Behavioral Health and the Department of Community Health House Bill 584. That bill moved the licensure of adult residential mental health programs, community living arrangements for intellectually disabled individuals, drug abuse treatment programs, and narcotic treatment programs from regulation under DCH, the Department of Community Health, moved them to the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. That was in the interest of government efficiency, frankly. Providers and individuals were working with two different departments. Now they're only working with one. However, there's one thing we forgot to do last year, and that was to move the authority for DBHDD to do the criminal background checks. This bill basically resolves that by giving the department the ability to do criminal record checks at DBHDD, and it also improves some things. It allows us to do FBI-authorized national record checks rather than just state record checks. As you may imagine, when you're talking about serving vulnerable people, a statewide record check anymore is useless. Because the first thing someone with a criminal record does if they don't want to be discovered is to move to another state. So this allows the department to do national record checks, FBI level background checks, and it also does something very important, and that is it allows them to and requires that they capture not just employees, direct care employees, it allows them to capture contractors to make sure we're record checking them as well. And it does something that has not been available before for DBHDD, and that is it allows for wrap-back provisions. So rather than only doing a record check at a moment in time, there's a notification to anybody that's hired someone automatically if they commit a subsequent crime while they're still employed with that particular provider. Mr. Speaker, that's about the best I can do to summarize it as quickly as possible. But I'm glad to answer any questions.
You have, looks like one question, Representative Jasmine Clark. To your left, gentleman, yield for a question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, I
So
yield,
is
Representative.
it, or is that a yes? You said
Say
yes, you do yield?
Yes, ma'am,
That's
I yield.
right. Sounds like you hesitated. So did you just say that basically if this bill doesn't pass, or if this bill hadn't been drafted, right now most of these employees have only been background checked at the state level, like the employees that are there now?
Yeah, so let me try to make sure I answer that accurately. So right now, if this bill doesn't pass, first of all, they're going to continue to be record checked by the Department of Community Health, even if they're regulated by the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. Currently, on the DBHDD side, they're doing state-level checks. So this is going to allow not only us to move it, but to make it more robust, to do national FBI checks, and it adds wrap back, which is not available there yet either. So we're going to get a much more robust background check on people working in facilities like this. For example, in community living arrangements, these are homes where people live where everyone in that home is developmentally disabled and they're being provided care. And so obviously you want the individuals working in that setting, you want to know that they don't have a criminal background. But I hope that answers your question, good question.
Does the gentleman further yield, just for one more clarification?
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
So is there anything in this bill that would require us to do these national background checks on the people who have already been background checked, they work there, but they have only been checked so far at the state level and have not had this more robust background check?
And I apologize for this, Representative. I don't know that I can answer that concretely. That is a good question, but I will tell you this. So currently, every time an individual is employed, they have to have a new record check. So they may get them, I mean, it's routine for caregivers and others, owners, they get record checked all the time. So anytime they change employment, but if your question is if somebody's already employed, I think the answer is that we're okay there, because remember, right now DCH is doing all of these, so they're capturing it on that side. So I don't think that's a concern, but I just don't want to tell you something and not be completely accurate.
Thank
Because
you.
right now DCH is doing them all. We're migrating it over here and making it a little more robust.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman,
for
that's
the
a good question. How about let's check on that?
Sir?
I say that's a good question. How about let's check on that?
Yes, sir.
And if it's a concern, we can work on it in the Senate.
I'll
Gentleman,
check
yield for
immediately.
another question?
Yes, sir.
Representative Reese, back left-hand corner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir, I yield.
Isn't it accurate that this will allow us to provide a more safer environment for our mental health people and those that work in that area, and be more knowledgeable of backgrounds, so that we're being careful who we hire and who we put in those spaces?
Yes, sir. You said it better than I could, Representative.
And isn't it further true that the way the system is designed, when someone switches jobs, they are put into that system, their fingerprints are marked, so that if anything comes up later on through law enforcement where those fingerprints match, it will be a notification sent to that agency?
Yes, sir. And that is why this is going to be so much better than what we have. 'Cause
Well,
we
thank
have-
you for bringing this
Yeah,
bill.
yes,
I
sir.
fully support it, and I think this is good for our mental health environment.
Thank you, Representative.
Gentleman has no further questions.
Thank you, Speaker.
Good job. Thanks for bringing the bill. That concludes our presentation on HB 1097. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee's substitute? Hearing none, the committee's substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted this so. Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? On the passage of House Bill 1097, the yeas are 164, the nays are 2. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption of House Bill 1075?
House Bill 1075 by Representative Chastain of the 7th and others to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 6 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to sexual offenses so as to modify the penalty for offenders previously convicted of the offense of trafficking of persons for labor or sexual servitude. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Non-Civil. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
The gentleman from Blue Ridge, Representative Johnny Chastain, is recognized to present House Bill 1075.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very happy to be here today to present this bill. I had the opportunity to ride around with my sheriff in Fannin County this year and attend a couple of GBI meetings. And in those meetings, I learned a lot more about human trafficking and sex trafficking and pimping and pandering and all the things that go along with it. This bill was given to me by the GBI late summer. Fairly simple, but the last 4 lines of the bill really describes what it's about and changes the code a little bit on pimping. And when you read the code section on pimping and pandering and human trafficking and all that goes along with it, it's really serious, pretty serious thing. And if you read those definitions, they're all about the same, what they mean. And pimping in Georgia right now, first offense is a misdemeanor. This bill changes it to a felony if the person has a prior conviction of human trafficking. And that's all the bill does, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman has no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield the will. Please, I hope this vote will be a unanimous vote just to show Georgia where we stand in this House on human trafficking and sex trafficking, what's going on, and protect our GBI folks. Thank you. I yield the will.
Thank you for bringing the bill. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted? If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of House Bill 1075, the yeas are 166 and nays are 0. You did it. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Thank you, members. Well, we've done some pretty good work today, and we've worked through our rules calendar. We're going to postpone a couple of bills and resolutions until the next legislative day. Those will be House Bill 421, 1076, 942, and House Resolution 1000 and 1049. All those bills and resolutions will be postponed to our next legislative day. We're ready for afternoon orders. All members, pay attention to the member in the well. It's important. Members, we have some afternoon orders. I would ask that you pay close attention to all of them. But Representative Franklin has one that's special to our entire state. I want you to pay attention as he speaks to condolences for a very accomplished gentleman from down in southeast Georgia who served his community in many ways and served our state as a prominent member of the Georgia Army National Guard. So please give him your attention, and a good friend to both of us and quite a gentleman. Representative Franklin is recognized to speak to this afternoon order. Is so important. The gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I rise this morning to honor Coach Fred William Schaefer of Brooklet, Georgia, a true community legend, the, quote, ultimate Southeast Bullet guy through and through, and a Georgian whose quiet service strengthened our state one lesson and one life at a time. Coach Schaefer passed away early this week on Tuesday, February the 24th, 2026, at age 91 at East Georgia Regional Medical Center in Statesboro. Born August 2nd, 1934 in Garden City, Alabama, he graduated from the University of North Alabama and began his coaching career at Calhoun High in 1959. In 1966, he took over the brand new Southeast Bullock Yellow Jackets football program, turning a 0-11 start into a powerhouse. He led the team to the South Georgia Championship in 1971 and back-to-back state titles in 1972 and 1973, including an undefeated 12-0 season in 73. His record of 76, 46, and 6 reflects his skill, but his greatest legacy is the values of hard work, perseverance, teamwork, and integrity he instilled in generations of young men and women. Beyond football, he served as an assistant principal, math teacher, and coach in baseball and basketball. After retiring from coaching in 1973, he became the assistant superintendent for Bullitt County Schools from 1974 to 92, dedicating 35 years to Georgia education, and rose to Brigadier General in the Georgia Army National Guard after 34 years of service. In retirement, he remained a devoted supporter, attending games from his familiar seat, advocating for school improvements, and celebrating milestones like the 50th anniversary of the 73rd team. The football field proudly bears his name, Fred Schaefer Field. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor Coach Fred Schaefer. We extend heartfelt condolences to his family, his players, and the Southeast Bullitt community. His legacy endures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Quite the gentleman. Quite a legend down our way. Thank you, Representative. Thank you, members. Representative Carter is recognized for an afternoon order. And some friends.
Yeah. Oh, it's on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my esteemed colleagues. Today marks the culmination of Black History for the month of February while we're in session, a time rooted in the vision of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. He reminded us through his groundbreaking work, The Miseducation of the Negro, that the people who do not know their history risk losing their power. And that history did not begin in America, it began in Africa. Before bondage, there was brilliance. Before oppression, there were kingdoms, scholars, architects, and innovators shaping the world. Black history did not begin in chains, it began in crowns. As this month concludes, let us not confine this history to February, but let us commit to the teaching it truthfully, honoring it fully, and building a Georgia that reflects the strength, dignity, and legacy of a people whose story is still being written. And we dress today honoring our heritage, which is our past. We dress today honoring our presence, and we dress today honoring our future. And we salute the work of Carter G. Woodson, ensuring that we preserve the history of African Americans in the United States. Take a moment of silence for Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Thank you. We yield the well.
Representative Carter, you know what I always say? Sir? You know what I always say, a story seldom told, soon forgotten. So tell the story. Thank you for that order. Representative Ali. The gentleman is recognized. Suspend just for a moment. Let's kind of clear the aisle there so people can pay attention to your order. Give the gentleman your attention, please. Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of this House, it has been a long day, but I wanted to make time for this young man on the screen named Christian. Age 14, Christian has a dream of being in the NBA one day and has already been a star athlete. He was born in 2012 and is looking for a family to adopt him. And we can do that at the website itsmyturnnow.dhs.georgia.gov, as always. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much, and I yield the will.
Thank you, Representative. We're ready for some announcements, so we'll call this day to an end pretty quick. Chairman Chokas. Gentleman's recognized for an announcement. Chairman Chokas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., the Small Business Development Committee will be meeting at 506 CLOB. Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., 506. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and everyone have a good weekend.
Chairman Gunther. Y'all got that one. That was for Tuesday morning. Here's another announcement,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Judiciary will have a meeting at 10 a.m. on Monday morning in room 132. Thank you.
It is a committee day. Leader Estration. Leader Chuck Estration, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There will be a committee chairman's lunch on Monday at noon in room 403 of the Capitol. Thank you.
Representative Berry, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. City of Atlanta delegation meeting has been moved to virtual today at 4 o'clock p.m. Check your email calendar invites for that Google Meets link. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Seabaugh. Representative Devin Seabaugh, recognized for announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Industry and Labor Committee will be meeting Monday at 10 a.m. in room 506 CLOB.
Chairman Chairman Tyler Paul Smith is recognized for announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee of Judiciary Non-Civil will meet at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday in Capitol Room 132. Capitol 132 at 2 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Someone may want to hear these announcements. Chairman Martin. Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Higher Ed Committee will meet as soon as the Speaker dismisses us this afternoon in 406 of the CLOB. And I want to remind my members, Monday is a committee day. We will have a Higher Ed meeting at 8 a.m. on Monday.
So we're hired to do to get our work done. Chairman Stevens.
Thank you, Speaker. Economic Development and Tourism will meet Monday, 10 o'clock, room 403, Committee Day.
Chairman Parrish is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, Rules Committee will meet Monday at 11 o'clock. Monday at 11 o'clock, and watch your emails. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Anderson, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Governmental Affairs will meet Monday at 3 o'clock in 506 CLOB.
That concludes our announcements. And we've already done privilege resolutions, so we're on a roll. Hey, but look, tomorrow's February the 27th. We have several important birthdays. In fact, we have 3 of them. 2 of them are in one class. Well, one of them's in one class. The other 2, well, we'll see what y'all think. Representative Matthew Gamble. He's got a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, sir. The other 2 have fled the scene. Representative Vance Smith and Representative Buddy DeLoach will have a birthday tomorrow. So I'll ask you all to look something up. The Battle of Briar Creek down in Scriven County, a Revolutionary War battle that's very, very important to the history of our country, especially this year celebrating our 250th anniversary. We will celebrate that event on Saturday down in Scriven County, but it occurred on March the 3rd. Lost many patriot lives that day, but it's a big day and it's a day we need to continue to celebrate our great history. Does he have a announcement? We have one more announcement. The gentleman is recognized for announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Committee on Health will meet Monday between 2 and 4 at 403 Capitol. Be there.
That concludes our announcements, unless don't see any more. Majority Leader of this House is recognized for a motion. Leader Estration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Good motion. On the motion of Majority Leader Estration, does this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Tuesday, March the 3rd, 2026. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed will say no. Those opposed will say no. Ayes clearly have it. Y'all have a good week. All right, show up for your committee meetings this afternoon and Monday. We'll see y'all on Tuesday. Y'all have a great, safe weekend. This House stands adjourned.